Alright guys, give me 1 second, almost done here. Setting up, getting these videos in here. I'm gonna go over matches that people sent in to me. Some Dudley matches from the impromptu tournament that happened at Tough Gnarl's house yesterday. And some matches that happened during the Sunday night Scrub Series stream. Sorry guys, can't talk. Just got off work, so like my brain is fried. But I thought I'd do this anyway because there was lots of content to go over. I also saw a match on YouTube yesterday that I wanted to go over, just because it was pretty interesting, with Yomoda Dudley. And then I'll go over Frosty Fosting and look over the list of everyone that's participating. I don't think they've released brackets yet, so we'll just have to settle for the player listing. But it's pretty hyped because there's lots of good players. And that's not even including, yeah, as far as I know, from what I saw last time, I didn't even see that many Chicago guys in there. Alright. Almost ready, guys. Alright, let me go ahead and switch over. Should be good now. There we go. Sick. Alright. So, first match I'm going to start off with, guys, or actually first couple of matches I'm going to start off with are matches that were sent in to me by Grimlock. He wanted me to go over two of his matches. One of them is with Hard Moods, the other is with the legendary Third Strike Android himself, Sandy Bags. So I'm gonna go over this one with Oro. Forgive the quality, guys. I think it was recorded on a phone, but you can still see enough of what's happening to get a good sense of, you know, everything that's going on in the match. I've covered Dudley Oro before, as I've mentioned. Oro, super annoying, has a lot of ways to keep Dudley out, to avoid Dudley, to jump away and keep a running and poking game going while he's building meter. And then he's got an unblockable loop setup that he can set up on Dudley fairly easily mid-screen with his second super art, the Green Booger super. This matchup, you know, it's very much a patient sort of matchup. If the Oro is playing the matchup correctly, you're gonna have to a lot of times just be patient and look for your opportunities. But that's true, you know, in most matchups where the opponent is playing it correctly. Since Dudley has explosive offense and lots of tools up close, most people are going to want to keep you out. So, you know, patience is something that you have to learn with Dudley. You know, as strong as he is, other characters have lots of tools to be able to keep him out. So let's go ahead and start with this one. Off the top, in true online fashion, Grimlock starts with Fierce Machine Gun Blow to start the round, less than a second in. It's a read. You know, maybe he thought he was going to do something or dash back. He might have thought either dash back or dash forward. I'm guessing that's why he did that there. But it didn't. It ended up working out. Let's see if he punished it. Got the punish, stand roundhouse. Probably the best punish he could have gotten that situation. Deep roundhouse. So this is something that I want Dudley players to kind of be aware of. When people jump in at Dudley, I'm learning this more and more, but Dudley has so many anti-air options, guys. You don't have to always go for parry. You don't have to always block. You have Crouch Fierce, EX Upper, Ducking Super, target combos, from Stand Strong, from Jab, from Short, Forward. You can trip guard with low short and sweep. You can wait for them to land if they're just going to empty jump, walk back outside of throw range, and then just go for an overhead. A lot of people won't suspect that. Especially if you have meter, then you can go for super if you land it. Or you can backswing blow to try and throw off their timing. try and punish them for doing that. There's lots of options that you have here. But, you know, in general, you want to give your opponent different looks every time so they don't get accustomed to what you're doing and then punish you for it. If your opponent can get a feel for how you're responding to jump-ins every time, that's obviously going to work to your disadvantage. So just keep in mind that, you know, you have more options than just parry and block, basically. So he eats that. It was high enough, that roundhouse hit high enough to where I don't think he was going to get much off of it. Yeah, I don't think he was too far for close forward, or close strong, I should say, his launcher. If he had got the launcher, he probably could have started the unblockable loop. It gives you enough meter at this point to get the super and then get the loop going. So here, I think all he could have done is maybe some sort of sweep or low forward or something into a fireball. Yeah, looks like he went for the low forward, didn't have the charge. Oro's fireballs they're not terrible, but they're not really good. You can ducking through basically all of them except the EX one because it kind of tracks. Although if you do ducking when he does the startup of it, you can get through the EX fireball instantly. There he could have done jump in roundhouse after he jumps over this fireball, or jump in fierce. Really, if you don't think that you're going to land in time, what some players are unaware of is Dudley jumping fierce actually delays your fall, your jump from landing just a little bit. I'm not exactly sure of the frames or you know, the exact timing of it, but I know it does delay it by a little bit, so that way you can, you know, get punishes a little deeper and throw off people's timing just a little bit more. You can also do it as a mix-up if you throw it like kind of early. You'll land a little later than it'll look, and people may go for throw, and that's how you get things like the Kokujin, where you throw the fierce early, land, and then recover when you land and do EX upper to punish their button or their throw attempt. Yeah, he probably could have landed fierce there. At the very least, he could have done early jump roundhouse. Although it is a risk at this point, because if he parries, he can put you in the unblockable loop. Good pressure there. Nice. And this is something that you know, I advocate for, and obviously GrimLOK knows. You know, he's very experienced at the game, lots of knowledge. So he went for the air-to-air, got the reset before he lands, forces him to parry the super, and Mood's just not ready for the super at this point, so he eats the super, gets the row set up. That's the proper meaty setup. Opted for a parry, it looks like. It looks like maybe he went for forward parry after this meaty setup. Yeah, you can see him do a down and a forward. So he was just buffering parry in that situation. It didn't happen at the timing that he was expecting. Maybe expecting a low short or something, or a low jab. So he ends up just blocking. Could have got upper off of that roundhouse here. Yeah, he can punish this with actually what you could do here. Since he's crouching, EX Machine Gun Blow does not work on Oro when he's crouching. So what you can do here is the Chun-Li combo that I've mentioned in the past. Stand roundhouse, medium kick ducking, medium kick upper, and then if you want, you can get super. Probably could have gotten for uppercut in that situation too. And cross counter, very tricky. Sometimes good to throw out there just to keep people on their toes. Ends up taking the round for GrimLOK there. Again, went for the opening gambit of Fierce Machine Gun Blow. Went for it again, and then Mood's adjusting. Knew that he was going to go for it, or was likely to go for it. And then did Torch Strong. Not exactly sure why Torch Strong, but it ended up hitting Dudley out of it. And these are things that you have to kind of notice as a Third Strike player. Is like, what is your opponent doing? It looks like he went for a down parry there, and then started to walk back. So just something to keep note of. Stand roundhouse looks like it beat. Was that standing forward? Yeah, standing forward or standing roundhouse. And in the neutral, this is Dudley's go-to button, stand roundhouse. In this matchup especially, if they're not in range for sweep or low forward, which he wasn't really in the range for, stand roundhouse will basically beat everything that Oro does, outside of like EX uppercut or some sort of some sort of special or super. But as far as normals go, this will beat everything Oro does. So stand roundhouse, you can buffer EX Machine Gun Blow because he's standing. And that's pretty much the only time that you're going to want to do EX Machine Gun Blow is if you're outside of his lows and you're counter hitting with Stand Roundhouse, then just buffer the EX Machine Gun Blow anyway, because as soon as you get it, you can go for a big punish and get the combo, get the meter, get the positioning, put them towards the corner. It's just good in general to do versus Oro. Nice anti-air fireball. Wake up super. Gets parried. Goes for the... So this setup right here, guys, if Oro does the 2 loops of the chicken kicks into crouch fierce into super, then you're reset, and just like Dudley, when he air-to-air resets you or anti-airs you and resets you out of the air, you're forced to parry the super. So this is kind of like Oro's version of a ducking super or an air-to-air reset to super. So you're forced to parry. It is a pretty tough parry because you know, Oro recovers pretty much as soon as the super's out there, and he's able to act again. So he can do, you know, stand forward, stand roundhouse, stand jab, stand short, fireball, uppercut. He can do any number of things to try and throw off your parry timing. And if he does normals, particularly roundhouse, when you're parrying the super and you miss it and you get hit by the roundhouse, it actually does quite a bit of stun. So you can be parrying the super, then eat a roundhouse, get a lot of stun on your stun meter because you got hit by roundhouse, and then eat the remaining hits of the super, in which case he can then go for a juggle afterwards as well. So, you know, it's dependent on what your opponent is doing and how confident you are in being able to parry the super, but if you feel confident in parrying it, then, you know, go for it. If you feel like you know the timing for what your opponent is going to do, go for it. But a lot of times I just eat the super. You know, it's not worth it to mess this up and then get potentially put in an even worse situation because you missed the super, or you missed the parries on the super, or you missed the parry on the roundhouse. That's more often than not what Oros are going to do is stand roundhouse. So yeah, see there, he went for stand roundhouse just in case he was going to parry it. And this EX, he did it a little too close, but this EX, I guess he calls it Sun Disc, or the EX projectile that Oro throws here, will actually come back around if you do it a little further back. I'm not sure exactly if this is the correct spacing. I'm not super well versed on Oro. I'm still kind of in the process of learning him, but it does come back because it tracks, and he can create a high-low mix-up, so just something to be aware of there. There are things that you can do about that if it's done incorrectly. Obviously, you can EX upper, you can super, you can parry, and then possibly throw or punish. But if it's a true setup, I think the only thing you can really do to get him off of you is super. So just something to keep in mind for that setup. And he is eating all the lows. You can kind of see here too, he's buffering parrying, maybe. Waited for him to walk up, sweep super. Nice bait. Baits the EX upper. Eats another EX upper, wake up super. Mood's ready for it again. Oh no, just messed it up. Probably not going to get the unblockable loop here. And he's going to take this round. Yeah, just ready for that parry. So here's something that you can do, guys. If you have the reactions and your opponent parries the dart shot towards roundhouse, there are a lot of people that will immediately try and hit a button as soon as they get that one parry. Something that you can try and do to throw them off and force them to reconsider their timing or their action is follow up with the second hit of that, which is a target combo, which is standing medium kick. You can do towards roundhouse standing medium kick and throw off their timing. You can possibly interrupt them if they're going for a button that has a lot of startup. I think throw will win in most situations, but I'm not entirely sure. I know SPD will win. Obviously Gigas, anything super fast one frame or anything with invincibility will blow up that forward on the target combo. But if they're going for, particularly in this example, a launcher, then the towards forward will blow up the launcher because he hit a button too soon. Instead eats the chicken combo here, and of course, you know, that's dependent on if you got the reaction for it. So that time a lot more patient on the opening from Grimlock. Could have ducking supered after that roundhouse. Just cancel into super there. Maybe wanted to save the meter. Neutral throw does a lot of stun. So that is another thing that I haven't really talked a lot about in these videos, but Dudley can actually do a lot of stun very quickly depending on what you're doing. Neutral throw, as you just saw there, did quite a bit of stun on Oro. Dudley's uppercuts do some decent stun as well, particularly when you combine it with standing roundhouse. So if you do a standing roundhouse into like a fierce upper, that actually does a lot of stun. So with throws, with neutral throws, when you mash it really hard, and when you do like a punish for something with stand roundhouse into upper, that'll actually get your opponent towards stun pretty fast, and it makes the 50-50s even more dangerous, because then you could potentially get stun, and then Dudley does massive damage on characters that are stunned. So it's just something to be aware of. Nice there. And he was too far. He went for the parry on that. Tried to do launcher, but because Dudley was ducking in the middle of that, he actually just got a far version instead of the close version. And even if he hadn't done that, I don't think he would have gotten the close version. You have to be basically throw range point blank for your Oro to get the launcher. Very patient for moods there. Dash up, look at his stun now. Oh, opted not to go for the reset there. And look at this stun. Yeah, opted not to go for the reset. Dash up. That 1-2-3 did a pretty good stun too. Look at that. Basically put him right at stun. So the next hit was basically going to stun him if it was like a mid or a heavy. Dash up. Wasn't able to tech the throw. And gets the kill off of that. So that's an example of Dudley being able to apply stun very quickly. And let's go to the next match here. This is versus Sandybags, and I've also gone on over this matchup quite a bit. In particular, in this matchup, you know, you want to do towards fierce, stand roundhouse with EX machine gun blow buffered behind it, some standing strong, some sweeps every now and then. In the neutral, it's very important that you not let Hugo push you towards the corner. Once Hugo has you in the corner, he is extremely strong with or without meter. But even more so with meter. So you definitely want to try and hold your ground in the neutral as much as possible. Sometimes backing up is part of it for spacing and adjustment, but you don't want to back up too much. Hugo basically wants to keep you, as far as the neutral game goes, he wants to keep you where he's underneath the numbers and you're behind the numbers. So if you know, if you're keeping Hugo behind the numbers on his side of the life bar, as far as screen position goes, then that's a good look as far as spacing goes. You want Hugo to be right underneath the numbers or on your side of the screen, because then he's winning the position battle. Up close, obviously, Hugo is way more dangerous because of SPD and all of his command grabs. So just you know, in the neutral, you can use towards fierce to push Hugo out, and even if he doesn't parry it, which Sandy looks like he was ready for there, if he doesn't parry it and he blocks it, it pushes him back quite a bit. So you know, it's a good spacing tool in general, and like I've mentioned before, it is super cancelable. So even if he parries it, not in this particular instance because obviously you don't have any meter, but if you do have the meter, you can cancel into super, just to try and give people that extra look. Went for the stand strong. Look at the stun already. I'm sorry, like I mentioned before, the let's see what his stun was at. His stun basically went to half bar with that one combo. So that's how good you know, a jump in into roundhouse into upper can build stun. Target combos, very close to stun now. Went for the EX upper. Oh, could have got stun off of that. Actually, if he had just done roundhouse and buffered the uppercut behind it, could have got stun. Could have gone into EX machine gun blow and then got a juggle, which may have led to stun, because you can get jab machine gun blow towards forward upper that might have put him in stun or very close to stun. So just not ready in this particular instance. And of course, you have to keep in mind, guys, these are online matches, so it's going to be sometimes hard to react in that. Opts not to go for it, and there's stun. Fancy target combo. You can so this target combo, let's see, did he do the right one? Let's see which target combo he did. Okay, yeah. So you can do short, forward, strong target combo, and that's both special cancelable and super cancelable. So you cancel it into the super there, took the win. Probably didn't need to waste a meter on the super, but just wanted to get that high grade and finish off Sandy in a fancy fashion. Look at that. Dudley has such good damage output. Cross up, splash. So this is something that is very hard to deal with, is meaty cross up splash as Dudley against Hugo. In general though, you know, cross up splash, which is a down fierce as Hugo, can lead to a lot of 50-50s. You can do jab jab super if he if he combos, if it hits. He can do Harambe if you're crouching. He can do low forward, he can do low short, and then he can tick into a command grab. He can wait for you to jump and do the backbreaker. He can, if he's using Gigas, he can just wait for the block stun to end, and because you're expecting a follow-up, you can eat a Gigas if you just sit there. So this situation for Hugo is very advantageous. It's very hard to deal with because it basically is a read at this point. What is my opponent going to do? And of course, you know, as the player in the defensive position, you want to do what you know, has the least amount of risk, which is most of the time just blocking, right? But because Hugo's command grabs are so fast and they do so much damage, that's not always the case. And because he has so many different options, you know, you want to avoid this situation altogether. But when you can't, you know, it's a read. What am I going to do? Am I going to jump back? Am I going to try and like get a super in there? Am I going to buffer parry? Am I going to backswing blow? Am I going to just block here? Am I going to try and take a throw? Because that's an option as well, although it's not really the greatest of options in this situation. So he went for jab jab super. Sandy very good at that. Expecting wake up super there. Empty jump SPD. Backswing blow. You know, I don't really mind that too much. I wish more Dudley players committed more to their backswing blows. You know, he was committed. He was like, whether or not, you know, it actually hits, I'm gonna do this super. I'm gonna just commit to the backswing blow because I did it, and I'm having faith that this is gonna hit when it connects. And that's something that you kind of have to do. You can get away with it a little bit more with this super than with SA1. SA1 obviously leaves you super wide open if you miss it and they block it. But with this super, it's not entirely terrible, although Hugo can get really good punishes on him with SA1 as a reversal, or SPD depending on the spacing, or even EX Lariat. All of those will punish him fairly well. And then without meter, I believe he can do low forward or stand strong, something like that. There's the SPD, saves the meter, takes the round. So Hugo sitting on about a bar and a half, almost at max meter. In the neutral here, so I'm not exactly sure why he's neutral jumping here. Maybe he's just trying to bait something or force Hugo to come forward. In this situation, the only things really that are going to counter hit would be like or jumping roundhouse and jumping fierce. But you want to be careful with doing a lot of jumping in front of Hugo. Hugo has options to deal with that, so just not exactly sure why he's doing this here. Maybe he was expecting something like wake up super, or like super at the start of the round, or EX Lariat or something, or maybe a jump. Maybe he's expecting a jump and just try to meet him in the air. Landed on the strong. You can counter hit that with stand roundhouse, and the range for it is basically right before he dashed. So right here. So right here is about the spacing that you can walk in and out of a few steps. Sorry, let me try and get that better, guys. You can walk in and out of that range a few steps and be safe of all of his pokes. Basically right about there. You can buffer stand roundhouse safely from this distance. You can do forward fierce and counter hit most of Hugo's normals. And then you can react to any of his jump-ins with whatever you like from this range. So when you're playing the neutral versus Hugo, this is the optimal range for Dudley, just in the mid-screen. Obviously, you don't want to be this far from him when you're in the corner or when he's in the corner. You kind of want to be a little bit closer. And you see how Grimlock is backing up? Because he knows the range that he's supposed to be at. He's like, alright, let me just get at this range. And you see, the range is so important because Hugo's Stand Strong has a lot of range on it. And for you to be at the correct spacing, that needs to basically whiff so that way you can counter hit it or you can punish it. At this range, when you see this, it's a little harder to do online, but offline you can ducking super that. That's a free punish. You can standing roundhouse and TX machine gun blow that. Or you can opt to just like stay in the neutral or jump in at him. That air-to-air jump short, really good. Now he's in the corner, and this is exactly what you don't want as Hugo. This is something that's a little hard to figure out. I believe if you set it up the right way at the right timing, a meaty low that hits right after the super flash will hit Dudley out of his super. But if it overlaps with the super flash, then Dudley is able to blow through it with the invincibility that he has during the startup on the super. So in this case, it overlapped with the super flash, which is why he was able to punish him for this. But typically, when lows connect right after the super flash happens, Dudley gets hit out of the super, even though the first hit comes out pretty much instantaneously. Stand strong. Nice crouch fierce. Early jump fierce can get punished. Beat the backswing blow. Oh no, missed the last parry. And now this is Grimlock's opportunity. He's got to stay on top of him. Got the jump in combo and takes the round. And that's very important to note, is when your opponent messes up and you're already at this juncture in the match, you don't want to give your opponent room to breathe, room to recollect and settle himself and regain his spacing and his footing. You want to constantly be putting pressure on him to force him to guess what's going to happen next. So Grimlock plays it smart, goes low, keeps it going with the rose. I think Sandy tried to punish that rose actually, since it wasn't truly meaty. He tried to punish it with a low forward. Ends up getting punished for it. Jump in fierce, standing roundhouse, ducking super. Ends up taking that for Grimlock. So those are pretty good matches. Alright. Next, I'm going to cover, I believe this is, let me make sure who this is. I think this is part 2 versus Jive. Yeah, part 2 versus Jive. Okay. So this is from the impromptu tournament that happened last night at Tough Gnarl's house on his stream. Twitch.tv/ToughGnarl. Make sure you're giving him a follow, guys. They always, whenever he streams, he's always streaming directly from a cab, so this is live cab feed. And they had enough players to run a tournament here. This is from the winner's side, MrPart2 playing Dudley, and Jive playing Urien. So I think here, when he parries the jump in roundhouse and lands the stand strong, I think he can go into uppercut. Yeah, I think he can go into uppercut here. Since stand strong connects right there, I think he's able to do jab uppercut at the very least. If you have meter, you can definitely do EX. Maybe fierce, but there are certain ranges where when you do this, the uppercut isn't going to connect because the startup is too much for the uppercut to truly combo off of this in that situation. Since he's getting reset and reeled back, you have to hit him before he falls out too far. And you see that he fell out pretty far, or pretty quickly. So you want to do maybe jab uppercut since it has a little bit less startup, and definitely EX uppercut would work in that situation. Nice trip. So Dudley's low forward, not the greatest low forward in the game, but one advantage to it is that it does cause knockdown. Not a hard knockdown, but you can get a knockdown regardless, and then, you know, kind of get in there and start the pressure. He has him in the corner. And Jose using all the good Dudley buttons. Nice! Dashed under it, got the sweep. Oh, just not ready for it. But he had the meter. He could have. I think he could have connected to super at that range. Let's see. Goes for it. Oh no, too far for that. Could have connected there though. So when he does that second towards forward, he could have linked that into super. Lots of pressure. Good conversion from part 2 there. Takes that first round pretty convincingly. Has 2 bars here. So I've mentioned before, when you pick the super, particularly against Urien, it's because you're trying to finish them off as quickly as possible, which is smart, considering the more meter that Urien gets, the longer the round goes, the more likely it is that he's going to continue to get Aegises and Aegis setups. So you kind of want to, kill him as quickly as possible before he starts putting you in all those 50-50s and pressure situations with Aegis setups. So, in this round, as fast as that first round was, you want to be just as fast, if not faster, in this round. You want to continue that pressure, force him to adjust to what you're doing, and put him in the corner so that way, you can start the 50-50s with the supers that you have. And at this point, I don't mind using meter to get him to the corner. So if EX Machine Gun Blow or an EX Upper or something like that puts him in the corner, you have another bar for mix-up, and then you can continue the mix-up afterwards, since they're already in the corner and you have positioning and meter on your side. Not to mention momentum. Crouch forward, or he does crouch forward in that instance. Walks up and does it. You can buffer low parry, or you can do low fierce preemptively to try and counter hit that. A little too late for that. There's that stand strong anti-air. Gets punished. Nice. So that is some awareness from part 2 there. He understands that regular Aegis is not active immediately. So even though the Aegis is coming out, it actually is not active until it settles. So you can super, you can EX upper, you can walk up throw like you did in this situation, you can parry, you can jump out and buffer parry on the way up, so that way if it does become active as you're jumping away from there, you can parry your way out of that situation entirely. Throws him out, takes a few hits, but totally worth it. Gets out of that situation entirely. Oh my god, that was so sick. Look at that jumping combo. Hit him crouching too, so it does extra damage because he's crouching. Very smart. Takes away that situation entirely, punishes him, and then the Aegis disappears immediately after the super. That's so sick. Good positioning. Meaty Rose. Doesn't go for the Meaty Rose. Oh, backswing blow. And remember, I mentioned earlier, Grimlock went for the committed backswing blow. So he was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. But because SA1 has such a big punish window and recovery whenever you do miss it or your opponent blocks it, he didn't commit fully to it. Although he could have. He should have been buffering. That's a tough. This is something that I've heard a lot from certain players, but they're like, why don't you punish Urien tackle on block? And the answer is it's kind of hard to consistently be able to punish this with ducking super is very situational. There are spacings where if you do reversal ducking super on a block tackle, he can still block, or he can parry and punish you. So it's very hard to recognize in the moment, was that the correct spacing? Was that the right strength? Jab tackle, or I'm sorry, short tackle is a little safer than forward tackle. And then, for one, do I have the meter to be able to punish in the first place? And then for two, is that the spacing where it works at? Otherwise, the only other punishes that you can get are maybe a stand strong or a low strong into ducking super, or a stand fierce. But it's very situational, and it's very hard to consistently punish that as Dudley. There's that low forward trade. So all Jose needs to do here is just stay solid. Just continue applying pressure in the corner. Walks under the jump, stand roundhouse. That was very smart. So very good round. And very good first match from part 2 there. Let's see what happens. I can never get stand strong to punish the tackle. Yeah, it's super hard, dude. It's super hard. I know that roundhouse tackle and forward tackle are the easier ones to punish with stand strong, but jab tackle seems extremely hard to do. So it's very spacing situational. Okay, so let's see what he does this time. Opts to jump back. Lots of crouching fierce, which is smart, anticipating low forwards. Trying to discourage that. Oh, he could have got a punish at that point. Eats a launcher for his troubles. The side switch there because he tech rolled mid screen, and Urien can actually dash through people when they tech roll. This is particularly easier with certain characters like Necro. So he gets on the other side with a dash. Partition that tackle, which is sick. Low short to tackle. Puts the EX Aegis on him. And this is something as Dudley players that I want us to stop doing, guys. I know it's hard. I'm very guilty of it myself. But if you neutral jump in the corner and there's an Aegis anywhere near that corner, do not hit a button. Don't hit a button. It's not going to work out for you. You are going to get hit by that Aegis. He threw out the Fierce, got hit by the Aegis. Roundhouse would have also gotten hit by the Aegis. The only buttons that might not get hit by that would be buttons that are inconsequential. Jab, short, maybe strong, maybe forward. So it's not a good idea to do it, especially when it's, in this situation, if he had charge, he could have got tackle, sphere, tackle, or tackle, EX tackle, headbutt, or whatever. He could have got a big punish to kill you in this situation. So not worth it in this situation. Just stay solid, block, wait for the throw, try and tech it if you anticipate it. Good punish from Jive here, or good pressure I should say. Oh no, just not converting off of these jump-ins. There we go. Oh, I don't like that. He put himself in the corner. But EX backswing blow. That was smart. Oh. Nice. So now he's sitting on a game and a round. He's got almost a bar for meter. He's got all the momentum on his side. It doesn't seem like Jive is able to really get a feel for what Part 2 is doing. But I remember Jose losing this match, so let's see what happened. Nice! So in this situation, okay, I don't mind the super too much, because you are trying to end this as quickly as possible. However, if you get this parry, I would rather you go for screen positioning at this point. Try and save that meter because you're going to put him in the corner if you do uppercut or EX machine gun blow. Try and save that meter so that way you can get Oki for 50-50, and then he's in dire straits at that point because, he's lost half his health, he's lost all the screen positioning, he's got to deal with this 50-50 incoming, he's down a round in a game, he's about to lose. You can force people to crack under the pressure that you put on them as Dudley, and it's important to recognize, time and situation, and as well as meter. So, I'm not too mad at him for going for the super because he wants to end it as quickly as possible, and that's the point of the super. But for optimization, go for the upper in this situation. Try and force him to make some decisions here, as opposed to dealing with a meterless Oki. Goes for ducking, puts him in the corner. Meaty row setup? Nope. No meaty rows, just constantly applying pressure. Ooh, he might have wanted, it looks like he might have wanted uppercut in this situation. How did he lose? Target combo that, dude. Target combo this. When he parries this, force him to parry. Commit to it. Standing forward, standing roundhouse, or standing fierce. Oh no, now he's just being impatient. At this point, look at the patience. He's only hitting buttons when he knows for sure that they're going to connect. Like, look at Jive. At this point, he's like, I'm about to die. I have got to play super patient. And so now he's forced to adjust to Part 2's style. He's forced to play Part 2's game, which is, I will let you dictate the offense, and in return, I will play defense and only hit you when I know for sure that things are going to land. Stand strong. Oh no. So now things are not working out for Jose. Missed the tackle. He tried to partition tackle off that stand strong. Oh no, if you had done upper, dude, that would have been it. You could have done upper into super. Just not ready for it. Or execution error. Oh no. That's unfortunate. Okay, still has a chance. Oh, that overhead was very dangerous at that range. Buffer stand roundhouse, dude. Get in range and buffer stand roundhouse. Oh, he could have killed him! Oh no, dude. Look at this jump fierce. Jump fierce. Super. As soon as you land this shit, look at this. Bam! Oh, he's dead. He's dead. He should have lost. Oh no, roundhouse tackle from downtown. Hold on, what happened to my music? Give me my music back. Okay, let's go back. Oh, and it really doesn't matter at that point because you can put EX Aegis behind that even if you parry, and then you're forced to deal with it. Did he try and super off that jump in? Let's see. It didn't look like it, but maybe he did go for it. Oh yeah, he got it towards fierce. Damn, that sucks. Just unfortunate. Execution error. I know all about those. Ooh, look at that spacing, dude. That low fierce got stuffed by the low forward. That sucks, because that's all you have for this, dude. That's all you have. You don't have anything else for this low forward here. Let's see where it's at. Right there. See, he did it. He responded in time. He anticipated it. Correct spacing. Just wrong timing. And you just get beat out. And it sucks. Maybe he could have been a little further out. Nice Sam Roundhouse to beat that sweep there. Oh no. Okay. This is not bad. What do you do here? So give him a different look here. Don't push yourself out. You know, short. Go for a delayed short. Go for a throw. Go for a towards forward. Towards forward also really good because you can buffer a super behind it or link into super if it hits. You can cancel into like EX backswing blow. You can do crazy shit with it. So you know, give him a towards forward here, or just act like you're gonna do it and throw him. Yeah, the row setups would have really helped in the corner here. Because it forces them to deal with the 50-50. Good spacing, and look at this. Jive is literally just walking in and out of range, just waiting for part 2 to do something. I'm not going to do anything, not overextending. Just going to walk you down to the corner. I've got 2 meters. All I have to do is just stay solid. EX machine gun blow off that parry. Look at the right here. Stand roundhouse, EX machine gun blow, towards forward upper, 50-50. So many ways he could have won. Actually, ducking super might have won in that situation as well. Ooh, gotta be careful with those. If you canceled in the super off that EX backswing blow, the last hit, he could have. Oh no, the neutral jump, so hard. Good defense though. Oh, just throw him. Oh no, the Urien command grab. Wow, that sucks. He was so close to taking that. He was so this was his game. Just a few execution errors, and you know, and that's ideally what you want to start optimizing, right? Is you want to kind of mitigate the importance of those execution errors by just optimizing damage whenever you get it. You got to value every hit and try and like get as much as you can out of it, right? You're trying to squeeze that juice. All right, so they're gonna run it back. This is now 1-1. Yeah, the frame kills are pretty easy off of SA1. That's why I kind of enjoy using that super a little bit more. It's way easier to time. Nice towards fierce. Target combo. Looks like he tried to red parry the last hit. That's pretty sick. Dash throw. So Dudley players, I don't know if you guys are aware, but I'm becoming depressingly aware just how bad Dudley sweep is. It is not great, guys. You can react to it fairly easy offline. Online, maybe a little bit of a different story, but Dudley sweep, not the greatest. It's not really consistent with trip guard. It doesn't really catch things the way that you hope it would, and lots of recovery, lots of startup, very easy to react to and very easy to punish. So just a sad note for Dudley. Dash throw, the Urien Especial. Oh, just running into stuff now. Got to be more patient, Jose. I think at this point he kind of realized that was his round to win, or that his match to win, and he kind of gave that up. So now he's overextending. But this pressure is not bad. It's good. Backswing blow. I don't think he's thrown him once. You got to give him the look. You got to give him the look of throw so he can respect backswing blow. Oh no! Oh, that hurts so much. Execution error. Oh, what a good setup. Put the mirror right behind him, and then it ended up moving back towards him. Aegis goes for the guaranteed kill. There it is. That is unfortunate. Stand roundhouse, dude. Stand roundhouse. Nice. I don't mind that jab, or that trade with that headbutt, since the Fierce does a lot of stun and damage. Now you're in the corner though. You gotta be patient. Gotta be patient, dude. You cannot force this situation. Eating a lot of damage. This positioning is all in his favor. Oh no. He just got way too impatient in this match. In this particular match, he was just trying to force it too much. If your opponent has slowed down to the point to where they're countering everything you're doing, you gotta slow down with him, dude. You can't speed up. You gotta slow it down. At least until you can get your momentum back. Because clearly the momentum is on Jive's side at this point. He's got the space, he's got the spacing, the momentum, the meter, and the screen position, you know, that are all in his favor at this point. So at this point, you gotta slow down and just kind of wait it out and look for your opportunities. That's so unfortunate. Just eating a lot of overheads. Good spacing from Jive here. Could have canceled into super off of that. Might have been able to salvage the round, but ends up being Jive 2-1 in a match that he had no business winning. To be quite frank, this was Jose's match, and he just ends up losing it. Alright, so next we're going to look at Silent Impact. This is Dudley versus Goki. I think this is the first one of these that I've done for this matchup. If you do roundhouse after sweep, it feels like a guaranteed hit if they dash. Depends on the timing of it. In that particular timing, he probably would have gotten thrown because it seems like he got thrown out of the recovery of roundhouse or sweep. But you're right. If they block or you do it early enough, you can definitely punish the dash with a stand roundhouse or a stand strong. If you're not confident in the speed of your stand roundhouse, you can definitely do stand strong and then buffer something behind it. So this matchup is really weird and really dynamic because it's entirely dependent on how the Goki plays. Is the Goki super aggressive? Is he playing the spacing game correctly? Is he just running away? Is he doing a mix of the two? How does he respond to pressure? What is he doing on wake up? Since Goki has literally like a million options, this is a really volatile matchup. But a couple things to note in this matchup that are absolutely vital for Dudley. You have to know how to punish Tatsu. His roundhouse Tatsu in particular is punishable by reversal super, either SA3 or SA1. Something to keep in mind of. I prefer SA3 in this matchup just for utility, but SA1 is really good as well. It's one of the few ones where the damage really starts to, add up fast because Akuma has such low health. So you can reverse the super. You can learn to red parry and get stand roundhouse into whatever you want for massive stun and massive damage. It's almost worth it to go for it every time because all you need is one. And then knowing how to duck under his fireballs, particularly his air fireballs. There are ranges where his air fireballs will look like it should hit you, but you can still ducking under them. So you can kind of negate some of his setups and his spacing if you just learn the timing and the spacing for getting under his fireballs with ducking. And then if you have super behind it, or if you punish him on a back jump from a fireball, particularly if he does back fireball super to try and like chip you out and he spaces it and times it wrong, you can do you know, ducking upper and then get another one, or go for ducking upper super, or whatever you want to do at that point, or even a ducking straight, just to try and hit him. But on Oki, you have to be aware, is he waking up with attacks? Is he waking up with buttons? Is he just blocking? Is he parrying? Is he doing teleports? And there's all sorts of different looks that can happen in this one set. So let's see what happens in this matchup here. You have SilentImpact playing Dudley, and then Hologram Mike Ross playing Akuma. And I was actually pretty impressed with this match because it was pretty hype. Lots of meter building. Carrot throw off that low short. Important to note, Fierce Upper with Dudley, super terrible on its own, just not great raw because it has lots of startup. You can throw them out of it. It's 2 hits. Second hit is grounded, so if they parry the first, they can hit you grounded as a punish. Like if they parry the first hit, they can throw you basically. And it has no invincibility whatsoever, none at all. So you can medium and hit him out of it early. Misses the correct punish on that. Nice timing and spacing to be aware enough to dash under that jump. Hologram Mike Ross just doesn't want to deal with that pressure at all. Good spacing, good awareness. Trying to preemptively deal with jumps with neutral jump medium kick there in that situation. He just tries to keep him off of him because he knows Dudley's explosive. Get off of me. Elevator kick. Blocks it. And this is where, as a Dudley player, you have to be aware of what your opponent is doing after they block your jump in. Are they just blocking? How are they blocking? So at this point, he's blocking low. He had enough time to walk forward at him, so you want to put him in a 50-50. Low short, towards forward, overhead, if you think that he's going to stay crouching, and then go for the super because you have the meter, dude. This is Dudley 101. This is what you need to do as Dudley. Throws him towards the corner. I'm not mad at that. Oh no, just eating Tatsu's. EX upper. Nice! Base throw, backswing blow. Into super, takes the round for SilentImpact. Tatsu's very good in this matchup, since Dudley has a very wide hurt box. Oh! Both of them just outside of the range where you can really get much from what either one was trying to do here. Yeah, misses the medium kick, and misses the punish on the Tatsu. That was crazy looking. He was over him when he did the backswing blow and it auto-corrected. Look at him. Right here. Oh, no, right here. It actually auto-corrected. That was crazy. And as a Dudley player, you know, particularly in matches where you have to block a lot, you have to be aware of what your opponent is doing as far as block strings, because a lot of times the only way that you're going to discourage it is through parries and through punishing them for doing predictable block strings. For example, here he's doing a basic shuttle block string. He dashes up, does jab twice. You know he's going to do another low because he's got bar. He's got 2 bars here. Or he's going to do some sort of special, either Tatsu, or maybe he'll do a stand strong into like a 4 stand strong into a demon flip, or he'll jump back fireball, right? But in all likelihood, since you guys are standing right here in front of one another, he's probably going to do it a low forward, which is exactly what he does. And this is something that you'll see throughout all Shotos. All Shoto players have this combo, or have this block string, I should say, because it's not a combo. Whether or not they realize that they will do this from time to time, and it's something that you can punish pretty easily. If you sense that they're going to do another low, you can go for that parry, and it's not a red parry because jab puts no block stun on you whatsoever. It's very minimal block stun, so you can just buffer that low parry. If you don't get it, then just go back to block, and if you do, then you can buffer another parry behind it if you anticipate Tatsu or Super or Shoryu or whatever. You know, you can just try and blow through it with Super, or you can try and blow through it with EX Upper. Doesn't matter what their follow-up is too much. But just something to keep in mind here is he's already shown you that he does jab jab, low forward, into Hado. He's using Tatsu's pretty well to try and get into those Dudley jumps. Fireball super. I think this is at a range where you could have ducking. And this is what I was talking about earlier, where if they mistime it or they missed the spacing on it, you probably could have ducking. Well, wake up ducking, reversal ducking into super, or reversal ducking just to get out of that situation and then punish him when he lands. Probably could have done that. Nice awareness to not even deal with that fireball. That is something that I have to start doing myself. A lot of Gokis will do this as a setup. Full screen red fireball, which is half circle back and punch. The fierce one in particular is 3 hits, so you have to kind of respect it since it's 3 hits. And what Gokis will do is they'll expect you to jump over it, because that's what everyone else has to do in this situation. So if you jump over this, then they can do super, they can do Tatsu in the air, they can shore you when you land and force you to land on a super. It's kind of like a good way of forcing you into their setup. But if you're ducking this, then you don't have to deal with that at all. Nice low strong. Yo, what up, Lava? So try to go for this. The punish there is super, but most of the time, if you're in range for stand roundhouse, just go for stand roundhouse. And if you want to do, if you are going to do super to punish here, you have to do the fierce one to get as many hits as possible. The strong and jab ones will miss hits at this range. I don't know. He might have been able to get stand roundhouse. There's the teleport. The way that you punish Akuma teleport with Dudley is EX machine gun blow. Just wait a sec and then do it. So machine gun blow right here. You'll miss some of the hits, but you'll get the important ones and the juggle follow-up, which is the most important. If you don't have meter, you can just do fierce machine gun blow and just try and get some hits for damage just to discourage it. But you don't want to let Gokis go unpunished for this, because it's a free escape for them, and they get to basically avoid your entire 50-50 game, which is Dudley's strong point, which is, you know, the entire point of playing Dudley. Nice. Teleports back for some reason, not sure exactly why he did that. Good block on the overhead. Tatsu's out of the corner. Oh no, the unfortunate input error. He's doing a lot of, so again, he's doing a lot of these block strings with Hado really up close. And you can punish him for that. You can do reversal super, you can do EX upper. If you parry, you get an even better punish. There is short, there is forward, and there it is. So you know that he likes to go for lows. Might as well start buffering lows in this, low parries in this situation. Punishes the dash up with Tatsu. Very good spacing from Hologram Mike Ross there. Oh, could have trip guard super with that low forward there. When Dudley lands on this low forward, he could have done the Hado behind it and then just buffered super. Yeah, could have had super. And I think that would have taken the round because he was crouching. So in this situation, it's very hard to know what to do, because, you know, Akuma has a lot of options and he can kind of keep you guessing, but he has a lot of answers for your jumps. So if you're jumping in at this range, you have to expect all sorts of things. Jump back, jump towards, you know, Tatsu in the air, super in the air, shore you into super, which is basically a guaranteed hit. If he does shore you into super and you happen to parry, he can still mix you up afterwards during your parry. So it's just kind of annoying and an option that you have to be aware of as someone jumping in at Akuma, particularly when he has meter. So here, if I were Hologram Mike Ross, I would just wait for him to jump and then shore you super, because that basically guarantees that you're either going to take the round or you're going to put him in a situation where you can't take the round. There, he did the jump. Gets thrown. Good block. And again, at this, even in this situation, when he blocked his Tatsu, throw the super out. You can punish it. Punish his Tatsu. Don't let him get away with that. Reversal super. Reversal super, then he's in the corner, or he's towards the corner, I should say, and you get a hard knockdown, and you can force him to deal with your Oki setup. He could have ducking under that. Ooh! Not safe. Oh no, he might have wanted to do ducking there. If Akuma jumps at you, especially at this spacing with Hado, just ducking under that shit. Ducking under that shit. Okay, so first game goes to Mike Ross. Or not Mike Ross, but I should say hologram Mike Ross. Let's see if SilentImpact can adjust here. Shoryu trade with the roundhouse, so that roundhouse is really fucking good. Shoryu has invincibility. The fierce one does anyway. Goes for the juggle and misses it. That fierce upper. Gotta remove that from the game, dog. Oh my god, cross counter. Shoryu super. Basically a guaranteed wake up option. Oh no. Gotta go for these overheads. Force him to respect the overheads too. Nice towards fierce. Oh, just walked into the fireball. Oh, stand roundhouse! Oh, you could have killed this man. He did this super unsafe teleport. Just walk with it. Since you're already so far away, walk with him, stand roundhouse into whatever you want. Could have killed him. So, hologram Mike Ross sitting on a round in the game. Nice! Hit him with the Kokujin. And remember guys, I told you when you do that jump fierce with Dudley, it delays your fall by just a little bit. So it can throw off people here. He tried to trip guard him with this low forward and ends up eating an EX upper for his troubles. Nice. I'm okay with that super. Good parries from hologram Mike Ross there. Steady patience. Good punish. Got the right punish. Oh, super. Oh no. Just ends up eating the Goki Online Especial. Gokis will do one of two things after Tatsu. 3 things. They'll go for throw, they'll go for Shoryu into super, or just Shoryu, or they'll do another Tatsu. There's the super from the Shoryu. Wow, he ended up going for Demon Flip Throw in that situation, ends up whiffing, and they got punished, even though Dudley whiffed Jump Strong, it looks like. Or maybe Jump Jab. So good awareness from SilentImpact there. Extends the set. See if he can take this to the final game. Nice build, meter building. And I don't really like that SilentImpact is backing up so much. You want to stay pretty close to Goki because his main tool in every matchup is his spacing. So if you give him space, Goki is winning. You cannot give him space. You need to smother him, and very much like Chun-Li or Urien, you got to kill this man as quickly as possible. You want to stay in his face and force him to guess, force him to make decisions. Nice, gets the upper. Wake up Shoryu, you don't mind that too much. Jab upper, I don't mind that one. Faster than fierce upper. Yeah, just keep him in that corner, dude. In this situation, make him guess. Make him make decisions. Stay in this corner, right at this range. Make him guess. Because you can walk up and do whatever you want from here. Stand roundhouse, sweep, ducking. You can jump back and hit him out of something. You can air to air with neutral jump. You can jump at him if he throws a fireball. You can neutral jump if he's doing a Tatsu and land on him with a roundhouse. You can buffer parries. You can do whatever you want at this range. And if he goes for teleport, you can EX machine gun blow and punish him and then go for the kill. So just stay at this range. You don't need to be right on top of him. If you're right on top of him, then it kind of limits. Well, not limits, but it basically puts more of his options on the table because he can do wake up Tatsu, he can do wake up Shoryu. Whereas if you're at this range, if he does either of those things, you can basically punish it or you can parry it. Super. Oh no, he misses it. Okay, so he ends up taking that round. I like that. Both players are aware of you know, walking or dashing under jumps. Look at this. Just walks under it. Or maybe he jumped at the wrong spacing. He didn't walk under it so much as hologram Mike Ross jumped at the wrong spacing. Okay, so now it's 1-1. Nice ducking. Just stands up, so he eats the sweep. Doesn't have the meter. Oh, we gotta be ready to punish these whiff throws. Stand strong into jab machine gun blow at the very least. Stand roundhouse into whatever you want. Otherwise, but stand strong 3 frames, so you can definitely punish whiff throw. Gotta be patient when you're jumping. When you and Akuma are both in the air, you have to be patient because he has tons of options in the air. He can do fireball, he can do Tatsu, he can parry, he can hit a button, he can parry into a Tatsu and then get a crazy punish. So you have to be a little more patient in this regard. Why does my message need to be checked by mods? I'm not sure. I don't think I have any bots active. Yep. I like that SilentImpact is patient though. Just waiting in this corner. Yep. This is what you do. You just wait. Wait for your opportunity. Oh! He could have ducking super. Once he gets this crouch fierce, resets him in the air. Ducking super. He hasn't shown you that he can parry that yet. Oh no, just went for the Kokujin. Too far for it. Good punish from Hologram Mike Ross. Wake up target combo. Buffer that stand roundhouse, dude. He's throwing low stand forward at you. 4 stand forward. Buffer that stand roundhouse. It'll counter hit it. Nice walk up throw. Dangerous because he's shown you that he will wake up short you. If you're gonna throw a normal, throw a buffer parry behind it. Nice. Looks like medium kick Tatsu. So medium kick Tatsu takes it. Now sitting on set point once again. There's that trade with the roundhouse and the fierce shoryu. Oh no. Nice confirm. Did the fireball for extra confirmation. And Mike Ross playing it very good now. Oh no. Could have killed. Could have killed. Could have done the follow-up, I believe here is light Tatsu into fierce shoryu. Could have followed up here. Yep, light Tatsu, fierce shoryu would have killed. Oh no. That's definitely an input error. He definitely didn't want to do that. He might have wanted to do ducking super or something. There you go. Finally punishes it. Doesn't get the follow-ups. Playing too fast now. His execution's becoming a little sloppy now that he's forced to play a little faster. And Goki takes it with proper spacing. So all Akuma really had to do, to beat this Dudley is just play the spacing game. And the impatience of SilentImpact and some costly execution errors ended up allowing Hologram Mike Ross to take that match. But that was a good match. That was really good. Hologram Mike Ross played that right for the most part. And SilentImpact, just a few decisions and some patience and some key execution errors ended up being too much for him to overcome. Alright, so the next one I'm going to do, guys, is the home of Phodie. He was playing, I believe this is, who is this? Wade. Okay. So it's gonna be Mass Lethal versus Phodie here. Dudley versus Alex. I am a big fan of this matchup because Alex has that hurt box and he's got that fat ass hitbox where every normal he does when he's standing can be counter hit by Dudley's stand roundhouse. Dudley's stand roundhouse blows up literally everything Alex does button wise in the neutral. And then as far as lows go, he doesn't really have anything too threatening from neutral range outside of sweep, and you can block sweep, and then you can do like ducking super, or if you parry it, you can get a sweep of your own and then go for a ducking upper. But where Alex is dangerous in this matchup is he is one of the other two, one of the only other characters in the game other than Dudley that has a short jump. So his jump arc is really good. He can apply pressure really fast with short jumps, and he can kind of hit you out of anti-airs if he does an early jump fierce, since his jump fierce works a lot like Dudley's jump roundhouse. When you do the early jump roundhouse with Dudley, you can beat a lot of anti-airs that way as far as buttons go. You may even trade with certain specials, like you saw Dudley trade jump roundhouse with Akuma Fierce Shoryu. Alex works the same way, where Alex jump fierce basically works the same way as Dudley Jump Roundhouse. They stuff things, it's their combo starters, it does a lot of stun, it can lead to a lot of good situations for Alex, so you have to respect that button, kind of be aware of the spacing and the timing of when he's hitting it. But outside of that, Alex does not have a ton in this matchup, so it's pretty rough for Alex. So here, I like that. Buffer machine gun blow behind that even if you don't have the meter. Just keep buffering that. That beats that low strong. It'll beat the startup of the slash elbow, the regular slash elbow. Throws him towards the corner. Keep him in the corner with that stand strong. Nice. Goes for the ducking super off the reset. I like it. Takes the throw. Just buffer that stand roundhouse, dude. Prevent it. So that's how when you have someone in this situation and they've proven to you, I'm gonna hit buttons, dog. I'm gonna hit some buttons. Just buffer stand roundhouse. It will connect to EX machine gun blow on crouching Alex because he doesn't duck EX machine gun blow when he is crouching. So you can combo that, get sweep setups, or you can go towards forward into uppercut, and that's basically the round. Discourage Alex's from using buttons too much. The only things that they can really do to contend with Dudley stand roundhouse in the neutral are specials. So fierce chop, EX chop, EX slash elbow, and of course anything that's gonna hit him from above. So like stomps and jumps and stuff. But as far as in the neutral goes, just buffer this stand roundhouse. Prevent Alex from throwing buttons at you and building meter. Walk at him and buffer EX machine gun blow behind stand roundhouse. Gets another reset, parried a few hits, didn't get it all. Nice punish. Nice. So very good round, very solid round from Phodie there. Oh, there's the correct punish. Very good with awareness from Wade. Stand strong into EX slash elbow is the correct punish for all these if you're not going to red parry. Good punish. Yeah, if he's standing right in your face, dude, stand roundhouse. It's going to beat everything he does. Really don't even need another button because this button alone is going to discourage him. So from this spacing, he jumps in at him. Oh, let's go back. So here he jumps in at him again. Right here, crouch fierce. Since he does roundhouse, you can crouch fierce. You can, if you wanted to, you can cross counter. You can EX upper. You may be able to trip guard. Yeah, since he whiffed entirely, you can probably trip guard, but it's kind of hard to react to at that point because he's got a short jump. Or you can ducking under since he jumped from so far. He's already proven that he doesn't get all the parries. Nice, hits him crouching. Oh, doesn't get the follow-up. So I wanted to go over Alex Stomp one more time. It works very much in the same way that, what else was it that I was thinking of? There's something that hits you from both sides. I can't think of it right now, but Alex Stomp, very easy to deal with, guys. When he stomps and he lands, this looks hella ambiguous. He's basically inside of you, right? He could land in front, he could land behind. How do you know which way to parry? Doesn't matter. Tap forward. That's all you have to do. Tap forward right at the moment where he lands. You're either going to block it or you're going to parry it. And if you block, you can punish with throw. You can punish with super even. If you parry it, you can punish with whatever the hell you want because he's super negative when you get this parry. Ends up landing, it looks like, from behind. Nice. Oh, try to go for ducking super there, but I think the short ducking has a very small cancel window, and it looked like he did short ducking. Yeah, he did short ducking there. If you want to extend that cancel window, use forward or roundhouse ducking, and then you can kind of extend that if you wanted to delay when you're going to activate super. Ends up getting the fierce, the ducking straight, I should say, and got the round there. So let's see how Wade adjusts here. Shout out to the Scrub Series, guys. All the homies there. Phodie, Faust, Joe Cola. So he runs it back. If it does, so one thing to recognize too, guys, if an Alex is gonna play a ground game versus you, you can just run him over with stand roundhouse, dude. You can just buffer stand roundhouse to your heart's content, and just stand outside of range of him, because you're not looking to make contact with his actual character hurtbox. You're looking to counter hit his normals. You're looking to counter hit his limbs. So you're basically swinging at air, and then if something connects, then EX Machine Gun Blow comes out. Good block there. Throws him towards the corner. Not even going for the high-low mix-up, just giving him a different look. Gets thrown into the corner. EX upper. Throws back into the corner. Oh, with that throw, you could have punished him big time with the stand roundhouse. Just be patient in this situation, right? If you're gonna stand outside of throw range, wait, right? That's all you're doing. You can walk up and throw. You can look short into whatever you want to do. You can target combo here, crouching short, crouching forward, crouching fierce. You can do, stand strong into maybe like a jab upper. You can do stand roundhouse and buffer something behind it, or you can go for overhead because you know he's going to crouch block after this. Yeah, he crouch blocked, so you could have gone overhead into super. A little too late on that rose setup. Throws him. Throws the rose. Yeah. Just a little too late on it. Because when it's truly meaty, they're not able to do anything. They're not able to throw you right after. They should have to deal with whatever's coming right after that. So there's one of the few things that he can do is Fierce Chop. If he hits your stand roundhouse with a Fierce Chop, he counter hits it. That was nice. Backswing blow. Nice! He got the parry on it. So look, even though even though he lands behind him, he just tapped forward here, and it gave him a parry, even though he's behind him. And that's how you deal with cross ups. You have to tap forward. Could have got stand roundhouse into something, but I don't think he was anticipating that he was actually going to get that parry. And Alex, when he has this momentum going, can be very scary because he can kill you very fast. He has lots of options. He can go high, he can go low, he can punish you for trying to go for a parry with back fierce. He can command grab you. He can do nothing. He can just stand in front of your face and then throw you afterwards, or tick into something. Common ticks with Alex would be like a stand jab into something, a stand short into something, a low forward or a low short into a command grab, low forward or low short into baiting you into thinking he's doing a command grab, and then he can do stand strong into EX knee, or he can do towards fierce to catch a back jump. There's lots of stuff that Alex can do when he has you in an Oki situation, and it's all dependent on what they've shown you, what looks they've shown you, and what kind of pressure they're applying. Also, if you've shown that you will wake up reversal a lot, some people will just back off. And that's one of the few benefits of waking up with shit all the time, is sometimes your opponent's like, you know what, dog, I'm just gonna let this man hang himself. I'm gonna let him wake up super, wake up Shoryu every time. And that means that you're not, like, when you choose not to do those things and they anticipate that you've basically gotten out of that Oki situation based on their fear that you're going to wake up with something. But that wasn't the case. Did meaty knee into EX slash. Here comes the overhead. Good overhead there. Very close to stun. Stand roundhouse. Very close to stun here. Stand roundhouse. Wakes up with it. There we go. He was standing, so optimize the damage. Ooh, good parries. So in this situation, Phodie, if I were you, you know what I would do? Is I would walk him down and wait for him to jump, because Alex has to jump. If you're buffering roundhouse and you're buffering parry for his EX slash elbow there, which is pretty much the only thing he can do, what you can do is just wait for him to jump, super anti-air, ducking super, try and go for like a hard parry, or a parry that has a weird timing, like a target combo, or some sort of roundhouse into a jab machine gun blow, or roundhouse into super, roundhouse into upper. Give him different looks, but it's almost guaranteed that Alex is going to jump in this situation. And all you have to do is play patient, because you're basically at about even life here. Goes for the throw, ends up taking the round, still alive. Nice, stand roundhouse, doesn't get anything off of it though. Jump in fierce, I think he landed this jump fierce too. Gotta be ready to convert off these hits, guys. Gotta value every hit. Look at that, could have comboed anything off of that. Just a little too late on that low short because he wasn't expecting it to hit. Nice ducking super upper. Meaty rose setups. Look at him. Now he's forced to deal with it because he put the rose on top of him. He's forced to deal with the Oki situation. He has to guess. Yeah, all he can do is this fierce chop, and you can jump. Oh no, I wish he would have parried the second hit. That was sick though. Got the first parry. Got to just be ready and get that second parry. Look at this. EX upper. Very good showing from Phodie there. Just a couple things to note. Obviously, in the neutral, buffer roundhouse more. You want to make him jump. That's the goal. In the neutral, make Alex jump. Force him to deal with all your anti-airs. You know, give him different looks for anti-airs. Ducking, super, crouch fierce, stand roundhouse, target combos, sweep, parry sometimes, and then you can just get like a stand roundhouse into upper or something. You know, meet him air to air sometimes. Lots of different things that you can do to anti-air as Dudley. And then obviously when you have him in the corner, if you're gonna go for the rose setup, and you know that you don't have it completely meaty, which you know, sometimes it's a spacing and issue where, you know, you just can't get to him in time to get a true meaty rose setup. That's fine. See what he does after he parries. See if he does anything. If he does anything, try and take note of what it is, and then keep that in the back of your mind for the next time the situation occurs. Okay, last one I'm gonna do, guys. I saw this match the other day, I want to say yesterday actually, and I wanted to go over it just because it's a sick match, and I feel like there's a lot of opportunities for Yomoda to have taken this. Spoiler alert, he loses because Kuni's fucking godlike, and it's very hard to beat this guy, but Yomoda's no slouch, so let's take a look at this match. Building meter. Look at the patience. This is a seasoned Dudley, very experienced, very knowledgeable, knows not to rush, especially versus an opponent like Kuni. If you just go jumping in, he's gonna fucking kill you for it. So definitely, you know, definitely just be aware of your opponent. If they're a seasoned veteran killer like Kuni here, don't just hang yourself by going all the way in all the time. Especially with no meter. Build some meter up. Denjin Ryu, very scary for Dudley because he's got a lot of ways to set up Denjin on you. Nice air to air. There's a stand strong setup into the jab Hado. Gets the low strong buffered into super. Ooh, catches that throw. Ooh, he went for a low parry there. Look at this. So he walked up, went for the low parry. That's why he hit him crouching with the stand forward. Let's see if I can time it right. Yeah, went for the low parry right there. Kuni went for stand forward, probably anticipating that he was going to do like a low forward and knew it, so just went for stand forward there. And there's that Ryu stand roundhouse that's so good versus Dudley. Even if you hit it, sometimes it'll trade, and obviously that's a trade in Ryu's favor because of life and stun. And look at the spacing, just an awareness thing for Kuni. As soon as he gets space between them, he's like, nah, I'm closing that distance and I'm gonna capture this part of the screen. I'm putting all this distance behind me so that way you have fewer or I guess less space to work with behind you. And I bet you put in the corner, you're close to stun. You know, it's smart as far as positioning goes to just make sure that, you know, you're putting the pressure on your opponent even without hitting buttons. Just by movement alone, you're putting pressure on your opponent. Nice stand jab. Catches a sweep. Oh, there it is. Forces him to guess. He guessed low. You're going to eat this overhead in the super. And even though he was so close to stun, look how close he was to stun. Let's see for how long. So basically at 75 seconds in, he's close to stun. And then for basically 20 seconds, he survived. Nice stand roundhouse. There's the Denjin setup. Just goes for the parry. Post stand fierce, so good. Let me point this out here. So he parries the stand roundhouse. Went for, it looks like crouch fierce to go into Jodan. The midway point of EX Machine Gun Blow makes Dudley actually slightly airborne. So when he hit him out of this midway point of EX Machine Gun Blow, it knocked him out of the air and reset him, which is why he was able to block the, or he whiffed the Jodan. So just go for stand roundhouse into EX Machine Gun Blow. Towards forward upper. Nice. Gets the positioning on him. Just walks forward into it. Didn't have to jump. Didn't have to do anything. Just walked forward into it. Oh my god. Oh, he could have had it too. If he had just anticipated something or went for EX upper right after. Hold on, what happened to my music, guys? And Kuni with the taunt because he's filling with himself. He knows he stole that round. Low short, stand strong, Hado Denjin. That's the setup. Went for fierce super just because he knew that like even if only one hit connects, it'll knock him away, and I'll be able, even if I eat this Denjin, you know, he's not able to charge it up for very long. I'll only eat so much stun, and it'll give me a hard knockdown in time to knock him full screen and recover from some of this stun here. Which is precisely what happened. Now he's basically at 2/3 stun. He's back in the safe range. He can approach, target combos, anticipating that he's going to parry this roundhouse here. So went for jab machine gun blow behind it, just in case he parried it. Didn't get it, so it doesn't matter because it's safe once he lands. Stand roundhouse. That's so far. He's using the fierce version of corkscrew to get this maximum range out of it. And even though he didn't have the meter to go for corkscrew blow or dart shot super here, he still knew, you know, Kuni's risk assessment was if I block low, then the most I'm eating is an overhead. If I block high, then I'm eating sweeps into juggles, which will probably kill me. So I'm gonna go and eat this overhead, and even if I do, that's not that big a deal. Oh, he tried to go for super there. Tried to link it. Towards forward. And just got EX Machine Gun Blow. And now everything falls apart for Yomoda here. Hesitation. The Hezi on the Denjin. And Kuni basically scrapes by the skin of his teeth on that one. Just barely survives versus Yomoda. But I wanted to go over that one, guys, because you know, it was just showing the patience of Dudley and showing that you don't always need to jump to start your offense. You can walk in range, you can buffer parries, you can throw place normals out and anticipate what your opponent's going to do before they do it. That way you can give your opponent different looks, and they're like, okay, so you know, if I jump in and he does roundhouse, he's going to do jab machine gun blow, which means next time you can do super. And it has to change their parry timing. Or next time you can do ducking and end up behind them. Or next time you can do backswing blow and throw off their timing just a little bit. So you know, it's this match in particular shows the volatility of Dudley, but also just how patient you have to be to truly capitalize on the damage that he's capable of. Okay, so as usual, guys, if anyone wants me to go over any Dudley matches, send them to me like the homie Grimlock did. I'll try and cover them as best as possible. If there's something that you want me to highlight in particular regarding Dudley or answer any Dudley questions, DM me. Other than that, I am going to go over Frosty Faustings happening the weekend, I believe, of January 17th, although it is taking place on January 18th through the 19th. For those of you guys that are going to be there, I'm sure you've already looked over this list, but for everyone else, this is the player pool. Friend, Aggro Crag, Zach123, Arliath, I should say, from the SoCal area, the TO for the Dons events, is going to be there, so that's going to be super hype. Digital Buddha, who was there, I believe, last year. Big Bad Wolf, of course, a mainstay now at all of the Midwest events. Shoutouts to Ruben for making the trip. Big Nasty, the homie from Houston, is going to be up there again this year. He was there last year, made top 8. Big Red, one of the Chicago local players. Nipperman, also from the area. Bullet Ball Face, who also made last year just outside of top 8. He's going to be there again. Butter Toast, who's one of the Chicago players that was on Jose's stream last night. Captain Neon, Chacha Man, Still God, I think is the guy that I found playing Makoto. Pretty solid Makoto, streams Third Strike every now and then, I believe from the Minneapolis area. He said he knew Ruben. Comeback 386, Kyle, who is an old school Chun-Li player. He eliminated me from the tournament last Frosty Fostings, so very solid Chun player there. CP, not sure exactly who that is. Crime Alley, the Urian from the Detroit, or I don't know if he's from Detroit, but definitely from the Michigan area. Cue Ball, Latine-X, L18X, I'm not exactly sure. Deadly Chew Toy, Dr. Steelhammer, for those of you guys that are not following his videos, he's got a lot of very insightful informational videos on Urian. Aegis setups, tackle setups, optimizing damage, how to do charge partitions and charge buffering and all that good stuff on the Feetwork University channel, Frankie's channel. So definitely check that out if you haven't. He's going to be in attendance. Falcon Guy, Lance from the Texas area coming out there, the current points leader on the leaderboard. Ebola Bukaki, Futuresoft, who was there last year. Gas Station Hobo, for those of you guys not following Gas, he streams Third Strike quite often, but hasn't as of late. To try and get his timing right for Frosty. I think he's been playing offline, but he streams PS3 OE, one of the few people who does, along with Decoy Mantis, keeping PS3 OE alive. Slusho, Golden Fate. I actually think this is Gas Station Hobo's first tournament, so definitely definitely make him feel welcome. His first Third Strike tournament offline. Slusho, Golden Fate, Mr. Travis, Good Normals, I believe he was there last year as well. Goonicorn, Scary Busey, who was definitely there last year. 29th Guardian, Hologram Mike Ross, who we went over a match of earlier from the Chicago area, and very much improved from the last time I saw him play. Hyper Crasher, who was there last year. Ken in Black from the New York area is definitely going to be out there. Shoutouts to Ken in Black, rockin' Dudley, hoping he does well in that tournament, so I have some footage to go over. Kioske, for those of you guys that don't know Kioske, he's a regular on the Venkabot stream, a newer player, so this is probably his first Third Strike tournament. Mash Legs from the Scrub Series guys. Chase Tatsujin, I'm not exactly sure who that is, but it says that he's sponsored by Logan Arcade, so probably a Chicago area native. Lotus, Mass Lethal, also of the Scrub Series guys. Micah, Mike C. For those of you guys that don't know Mike C, he's the creator of Skullgirls, but also a pretty well-known SA3 Makoto, the only real SA3 Makoto who consistently uses that super with Makoto. You've got Nebraska Ken, not sure exactly who that is. Bam Bam, Mothman, Munyo, Neo Andy from the Scrub Series guys. Gamer 3K, who was there last year. Nick Cool, Chicago area player. You have Eat from Nebraska. I believe he is the lone Nebraskan in this tournament this year. You have Palaxis. You have Coconuts, Quade, Renegade, Rush Hour 2 on VHS, which is a sick name. Samu, Scrimps, Phodie, whose match we went over earlier from the Scrub Series guys. Scythe, Shaked Angle, Shaky Fingers, Yogurt Brain from Shite Cage. Shoutouts to Yogurt Brain, making out his second appearance at Frosty Fostings in a row. He ended up getting second at the first Chicago ranking, or I believe it was a ranking event for what was it called? I think it was like Super Saturdays. So he ended up in grand finals versus Al. So a very strong Ibuki player, has grown very fast. Very happy to see him attending this event. SilentImpact, who we went over earlier, Chicago area. David Q, also from the Nebraska area, so he's going to be there as well. You have Sloppy Jalopy, Soup Base, Stone Cold RM, Stormcrow, San something, Beautiful Swan, T-Truck, Travis Ross, Travinx, also from the Scrub Series, Tough Gnarl, the homie who streamed the tournament last night. He's also improved a lot. His Elena it was doing work last night as well, so look out for him. You have Uli from the Nebraska area. I believe he's their local TO, so shout out to Uli making the trip out there. 4C Joe, obviously a strong Makoto player from the Chicago area. Granny Butthole, Venkabot, who everyone should be familiar with if you are following this stream. Hillary, Wereheimer, Wilfu, Jans, and Zanshin. So that's going to be a super stacked tournament, guys. We'll go over the brackets whenever they become available, because currently they are not published. Although, you know, there's still some notable names missing from that list. Obviously, you know, some of the more well-known Chicago players are missing from that list. You don't see Al, who won their previous 2 tournaments in Chicago. You don't see Adam, who was their lone representative in the finale last year, aka Dirt Master. You don't see MrPart2, who was in the grand finals for their last ranking event. So I anticipate those guys will sign up on site, more than likely. Hopefully they do, because I want to see them compete in this super stack tournament and defend home turf. Hopefully Part 2 and Dirt Master are joining us. Al is going to be out of town. Oh, Al's out of town? That sucks. Why are you making Dudleys better against my main? Oomph! I have to help all the Dudleys, dude. We're all in it together now. You know, when I originally had this idea, I was scouring videos for Dudley wins of tournaments, and I just realized that's just not happening that often, if at all. Particularly in America, I don't see Dudleys win tournaments hardly ever. You know, the closest we have is EXO, but you know, his success record is not great. You know, as far as winning tournaments, and then the rest of us are just still stuck in top 8'sville. So you know, I wanted to try and do whatever I could to try and spread Dudley awareness, to try and get one of us, if not myself, one of us has got to start winning tournaments, dude, because, you know, Dudley's a strong character. He's definitely capable of winning tournaments, and I wanted to help spread information. And if anyone can, you know, share any information with me, maybe correct me on something that I'm wrong on, then definitely go ahead and do so, because, you know, the entire purpose of this is to share information and to try and help everyone level up. So that's the purpose of these. And I'm going to be uploading this to YouTube after this, guys, as per usual. I will probably play some matches. I'm not sure if it's going to be on Steam or on PS4 yet. I'm going to get some food, and then I will be back later. I probably will not stream, so this is probably going to be into this stream. But thanks to everyone that tuned in. Don't forget, guys, there is an event happening this weekend. I believe it is in North Carolina. It's the New Challengers event. I'm not exactly sure. I think that's Charlotte. I'm not exactly sure where exactly that's at. But I know Flannel Jack is running that. For those of you guys that are not following Flannel Jack on YouTube, you can catch all the tournaments that he local records and uploads to his channel on the NoHo Dojo. Just follow the NoHo Dojo on YouTube, and you'll be able to see all of the tournaments that he runs. There's lots of promising budding players coming up in that area. Definitely support them. Show them that, you know, they're a part of the community. They're welcome. And then, you know, maybe those guys will start traveling out to your events and supporting your events, right? You know, it's all about supporting all the events that we're doing for Jazzy, and then for each individual scene, because it's not just, you know, what helps Jazzy. It's what Jazzy can do to help other scenes, to help grow 3S across the country. So, you know, definitely keep an eye on the schedule, guys. We're going to check out the leaderboards one last time before I get out of here. Lance, Yuki, Ryan, Daisuke, Steelhammer, and Arindam, aka Al. So for those of you guys that are wondering what the top 6 are currently, those are your top 6. You can discount 5-star and Frankie, since they've already auto-qualified. Just outside of that, you've got Big Bad Wolf, who's going to be at this Frosty Frostings tournament. Roski, you've got Bullet Ball Face, who's going to be there. And Big Nasty, and I think Arlieth, Ken and Black, and that's it as far as the first page of players go. But keep in mind, Frosties is an auto-qualifier, meaning the winner will auto-qualify. So let's say, you know, one of these players in the top 6 auto-qualifies, whether it's Lance or Steelhammer, then that's another spot that gets freed up on the board. And then, you know, if whoever gets second is it's already worth 900 points. So it's gonna be our first 1,000 point plus event for first place, but obviously those points don't matter because it's an auto qualifier. But regardless of that, second place gets 900 points. So, you know, this is a pretty big event. It's going to be super stacked. There's already 78 players signed up, and that's still missing some key names. Definitely check that out, guys. Make sure that you're on the lookout for that stream link. We're going to be sharing it on social media. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and Facebook, as well as Instagram at The Jazzy Circuit, as well as on our Smash page, smash.gg/The Jazzy Circuit. Alright, guys, that's it for me. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to switch to the image slide, let the music play out for a little bit. If you guys want to get some matches later, let me know. I'll probably hop on in a little bit. And, you know, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the new follows that I got on YouTube. Was not expecting that, really. Appreciate that. Thanks to Venka and Flanneljack for promoting me on their Facebook pages. I appreciate that, guys. But really, this is for you guys. This is a resource for all you Dudley players out there. If you guys have any questions, definitely get at me, guys. It is on YouTube. KD_alpha. I am on the tubes of you. So I have the last 3 Dudley analysis, or last 2, I should say, Dudley analysis videos on there. Appreciate it, oomph. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the follows and subscribes. I appreciate it. I will catch you guys later.